All right, so I just want to have a talk with everyone about who that person in the red dress really actually was. And I believe that it's the person that Joe steered clear of on Monday, April 4th, 1994. I'm just going to wait for people to hop on, hopefully. Hey, it's going all right. I called Renee and I got an answer, and obviously I didn't calculate that too well. If I was one of them, I'd be so afraid of what's going to happen to me in the afterlife if I just don't stand up for this guy, for Kurt Cobain. Yeah. Just looking at his photo, I don't know what he sounds like. We don't know what he sounds like. But looking at his photo and hearing him at the same time kind of matched up. His recent photo. Yeah, after I said, do you want to talk about Joe Burns and the rest of the people that were there at Kurt's house in 1994? He just went silent for like, I know there was a little lag, but in our phone conversation, but there was some silence there too that lasted a little longer, and I think I shocked him by being so upfront. I should have thought about that before I made the call. But how do you talk to someone about all this? Yeah, you just pretend to be their friend out of nowhere. Just want to be their friend out of nowhere. Oh, I found your number on the side of the road. I'm homeless. I want a friend. Oh, you like Kurt Cobain? Oh, you knew him. Yeah, I was afraid to do that. I didn't know why he wanted to know. Like, if he's not Renee Navarrete, which he is, why did he want to know who I was? He could be on listening right now since I told him who I am. But, I don't know. Sounded like him. And I know there was that weird stuff going on in the 90s and he was experimenting and stuff. He sounded a little gay, so I think it was him. And it was a deep dive that in Bloomer did, finding the actual email of his and phone number. But yeah, nothing came out of that. Who do you think people that it was wearing the red dress? I think that it was Courtney, not Mark. And in the book, to Kurt, I'm sorry, Joe is saying on Monday that somebody came over, but he made sure to steer clear of that person. And Courtney Love, look up Courtney Love red dress on Google and go to images, and you will see her wearing so many red dresses. Like it's another obsession of hers. Just like watching Pretty in Pink over and over again on VHS from start to finish, like her dad said. She would watch the opening credits and the end credits to where it like snapped off and stopped. She was that obsessed with doing that. Like she would go really. all the way and like knowing, or it's just, I don't know, sociopathic behavior. Jody Arias rings to my mind. Because Joe seemed really afraid to say anything about who that was. It's like he was trying to repress that memory as soon as he was talking about the red dress. Yeah, Monday, April 4th, because in the book, he says that somebody did come over, I'm not going to say their name, on Monday, April 4th, but I made sure to steer away from this person. And Monday night is when he left. And so that person would have been in the greenhouse. And I believe it's Courtney, just as in Bloomer does. And I did videos on that before, but then I questioned it when the book came out and it said that Mark Lanigan was in the red dress. But now I put my video on unlisted about Courtney being in the red dress that's gotten 18,000 views. I put it on public again because I really believe that it is Courtney. He's just too afraid to say it. But he's saying it at the same time in his book. He's just not actually saying it. Meanwhile, still blaming Mark Lanigan as the one being in it. But then saying, Monday, this is around afternoon time, somebody else came over. And he steered away from this person because she's crazy and gets into arguments a lot and just yells all the time. That would have been Courtney. So maybe now I'm wondering if Joe heard the shot like 20 minutes after or not. Maybe it was on Monday. Maybe he was laying dead in the greenhouse and they, nah. Because right now I'm remembering Mark Lanigan's song, Sunday night, 2:30 a.m. My trigger finger all blistered and blue. Yeah, exactly. So they would have had him in the greenhouse at least dead and shot, and then Courtney would have showed up on Monday in her red dress, like a disturbing date, kind of like ritualistic, weirdo fucking thing. And Joe doesn't really want to talk about it. Even in the interview, he's just like, red dress. And they could have put Kurt in that as well. And just like she said in her song, she made all the friends clean everything up. And there was a comment on my YouTube channel or somebody else's, someone stating that she's seen Courtney Love driving around Seattle on the 6th of April of 1994. And if we're going to be with, just into certain YouTubers that say Mark Lanigan wasn't there because we don't believe what the eyewitness is saying, then we are going to be wondering for another 30 years what the heck happened, even though it's in front of our faces right now. Well, yeah, Courtney was there. Yeah, there's this really weird guy saying that he worked with Gus on the Last Days movie. And he's just some psycho. He's just some crazy person. But it was Mark Lanigan, Dylan Carlson, Roddy Bottom was there. That Unsolved Mysteries tip from 1997 saying Roddy was there that night that they were getting high, which would have been Saturday, was called in by Bonnie Dillard, who now goes by the name Benita Kelsey. Yeah. So it's all in front of our faces. Kurt Cobain was killed. They framed it as suicide. A lot of people have committed suicide over it successfully. I was the one that attempted back in 2017 after speaking with Courtney Love's dad over the phone. And that's why I take this very personally, and I'm obsessed with the case. And I have even before that, but not in a seeking justice way. But after that, yeah. And I've been speaking with Tom Grant since 2014. Yeah, Mark Lanigan had red hair. And if there was a woman, that woman was with him. In Mark's book, he said the next day after Rosemary called him and told him Kurt was back and missing, that he and Tom and Dylan went to the house and drug dealers' houses. I think he messed up there, though, himself. I think Tom was like, played a easy fool. Courtney wanted him to find the body. He didn't. Mark and Dylan didn't want to point it out. Nice. I remember him being like, my wife's just here with groceries. I gotta go. Hank. What do we do about it, though? So Kurt was killed by Mark Lanigan and Dylan, and two other individuals were around, probably Danny and Roddy. And then Courtney came on Monday, and they seen her, Bonnie and Joe did, at nighttime while they were leaving. And then Courtney plays innocent and acts like she was away the entire time. I was backstage at a Bathe in Toyland concert because my husband was running away and he wanted to take all the money and my child away. So, being as I am, I wasn't panicked and I just went, to a concert backstage and relaxed and enjoyed myself. Bullshit. Oh, wow. Oh, I don't know what to say now. It's getting exhausting. We don't really know what else to do with the case. We know what happened. Hey, well, we know what happened to Kurt, but what's gonna happen, like, to the people that did it? They're just gonna wake up. They're just gonna wake up and enjoy social media every day, watch the world burn around them, and not be an influence like Kurt was. That sucks that they left us with them and not Kurt. The '90s could have built into something way better, and now it never will because of morons that wanted to fuck it all up for their own selfish desires, and they did it. Now we have a genocide happening, and 9/11 happened, and everything, and it's the same people doing it, and we don't even know about lucid dreaming and our reality of where we are and who we are. We're so behind. And killing off one of the greatest rock stars of all time, who was connecting people consciously through his music. He was onto so much more than music and drugs. But the people that killed him, they're just all about music and drugs and popularity. Nirvana has been hijacked. At least here it has. So does anyone have any questions about anything? By the way, Danny was smoking heroin on the fucking video calls on Facebook with me all the time. But you're not supposed to know that. Yeah, actually, right now, let's go over Mark Lanigan and Dylan Carlson's interview. Somewhere in there, I have to find it again. He's talking about hitting somebody over the head with a crowbar, and him and Dylan laugh about it. Bonnie spoke in the Unsolved Mysteries tips by saying that Roddy Bottom was there. Just a second. But yeah, I'm really obsessed with this case, and I have been for years, and I'm not backing off. Ever. And I'm not making money either, so I don't have to watch what I say. Ha ha. I can tell the truth. Even if it's not popular opinion, I can tell the truth. That's what we should be doing. Not getting likes and money for the case. We should be telling the truth. Even if it makes us not be popular. And I was one of the people that pioneered for Who Killed Kurt in the beginning and making all the videos everyone still watches and likes and then comes to my channel and complains about me. They scam people. They've done that with the makeup business. They're now discrediting Joe Burns, the eyewitness, and Danny. They made everyone believe that Danny and Ryan talked with Sarah and Mike Noonan. They didn't. Danny wasn't even sober from drugs. He was still smoking heroin on video. Yeah. Okay. Gosh. Here we go with Mark Lanigan and Dylan Carlson. I'll pause in between and share my own commentary with everybody.
You're listening to After Dark.
I insisted upon going and almost lost you your deal.
Well, we both had a meeting. You had a meeting, and I had a meeting, so Bruce had decided to combine them.
Oh shit, I thought I just went along and
No, no.
crushed it on this your meeting.
No, it was a joint meeting.
So you had one thing to say to both of you.
Got fired. That came later.
That came later.
I got fired individually.
I got an amazing phone call from Bruce after well, he was like terrified. We kept trying to give him a ride, and he wouldn't get in the car. And then he called me later and was like, "I'm calling you because you seem like the most rational of the two people." And then he said, "I wouldn't be surprised if they found bodies under Mark's house."
And he said, well, that would be my house too. Most rational. That was true though. I have to
Just a
admit.
terrifying thought.
The most rational.
By the way, it was Virginia Collins, Danny's ex-wife, that was doing Courtney Love's hair in 1996 or 1997. And she told Courtney that Danny was going around stating that he was involved in hot-shotting and shooting Kurt. That's another thing that Who Killed Kurt will not bring to the surface.
God.
Who do you think is the most rational?
Now,
Yeah.
it's still him. It will always be.
Right.
I've come to grips with that 30 years ago.
Right.
You've accepted your volatility.
Yeah,
So what he just said that right there, Mark Lanigan, was that he realized that 30 years ago. What happened then?
I do have a bit of a mercurial nature.
Do you remember the first time you met Dylan?
I do. Was
I'll be right back. I'm going to continue this, and then I'm going to read through Joe's book.
Capital Lake Jam. Yeah.
That's what it was. It was like 120 degrees. And I'd come from Ellensburg with those shitheads in my band.
You guys have the yellow as this band.
Yeah, which was the carpet. It was had still the carpet cleaning company's name on the side. No AC. It was burning hot, and I see these guys in this car with the engine running, and I know they got AC. And I said, "Hey, you guys mind if I get in his car?" And they said, "Sure." And it was Dylan was in the back seat. Slim Moon, who later started Kill Rock Stars, the label, was the singer.
Yeah, and then our drummer was Mike Dees at the time, I think, instead of Heather, but Heather was there because she had a crush on Mark Pigro. And then there was me on guitar, and I think Kurt.
I can barely understand a thing what he's saying. Alright, so I'm going to find in Joe's book where he's talking about Monday and that person, Courtney, that arrived. And they left at night and she was in a red dress up there. Alright, let's read this. Dylan did have a strange conversation with me on Monday, I believe, talking about higher powers and people with money that can make certain people disappear. Wasn't really listening. Joe. Like I stated, we didn't leave yet, him and Bonnie, and I know that Dylan and Lanigan had come back to the house, I believe, late Monday. Here we go. There were theories that someone else arrived on that Monday, and I can say with relative certainty that someone did arrive that day, but I steered clear of this person. Bonnie and I finally left on Monday night, and this will be important and downright haunting. Remember when I talked about the red dress? Well, here it comes. As I was maneuvering the car in the driveway, with Bonnie riding in the passenger seat, we noticed some movement in the greenhouse. Obviously it is dark, and neither one of us can perfectly see through the front windows, but we gesture to another and stay focused on the greenhouse. And that's when they see the red dress. He's basically telling us right here without telling us. It was Courtney. She was there. Not... I can't say for certain, not on the day that he was murdered. If Joe was hiding more, but... if we're going with this, she was for there... She was... sorry. She was for sure there on Monday. Before we're supposed to believe she was actually there. Hey, Harvey. Hey, how are you? Good to see you here. So, in the police reports, is Dylan lying about that's the last time he's seen Kurt? He was in the limo with you, or is it misread? Is it like saying that he was with him buying the shotgun in the morning, but then maybe he heard about him going into a cab and everything later, and he just included that in his statement? Or is he trying to really place himself in that cab with you, even though he wasn't with you and Kurt? Oh, wait for you to reply. I'll keep going through Joe's book a bit too at the same time, and I'll read the comments. But yeah, he's basically admitting right there. There were theories that someone else had arrived on that Monday, and I can say with relative certainty that someone did arrive that day, but I steered clear of this person. And Bonnie and him left on that night. And that's when they seen the red dress, and that was Courtney. She did not show up in Seattle on the day we are told she did. She was there before that, and Dylan and her seen the body, which goes in line with Dylan, with, her name starts with an M, saying that, Dylan admitted that him and, Courtney found the body first before the police. Harvey, are you still there? Can't believe that. I wish that Kurt would have stayed where you drove him to. I have some of Kurt's hair right here with me, and I'm putting it here. It was cut off of him in the morgue by Courtney. I don't really want to talk about it, but I wish that Kurt had have stayed where Harvey drove him to. Obviously, he would have too. The last thing you want to do is be around people doing drugs, and then it turns horrible when you had a chance to actually stay away from them. Right. I wonder where Harvey is. And I'm having a couple drinks tonight. Yeah, she did. Even before the Rome attempt, because she would have been planning it before that. So I don't know. Now we just have a bunch of A-lister celebrities who are all guilty of murder, even just by knowing, guilty by association. But they have to protect their careers and look fancy, so justice doesn't happen. I get it. Yeah, if anything, after the fact. And Courtney pushing them and manipulating them like, oh, this is how it is, this is how it was, this is what happened. Keeping an eye on them, just like she did with Tom. Still doing that to this day. That must be so exhausting. Imagine if you or me killed someone and then like someone's doing YouTube videos exposing it, and you have to continue the lie every day since 1994. That must be so exhausting. Someone commented saying, well, next he's gonna say Barney the dinosaur killed him. I don't know why Courtney's not doing that. Right now she's blaming the CIA. Maybe that's her next move. Yeah, come back to Seattle, Courtney, where you can get arrested. He did know something was up. Because remember, he was at, fuck, Caitlin Moore's apartment, sitting on her couch and sleeping there and saying he didn't want to go home because he was getting death threats. And she thought he was attention seeking, trying to get attention. And Courtney was calling her like crazy and threatening her, so she said she would kick him out in the morning, and she did that. And that was in mid-March or whatever, or early March, whatever, mid-March, right before the beginning of April when it happened. Yeah, and Joe's doing that, but he's not completely doing it. He has, but he hasn't outright said her name. And even Chris Todd saying, we're not going to say Courtney. Maybe that's for a reason. Because that was definitely Courtney. I'm not going to be loyal to anybody except for Kurt and the truth. But I'll listen to anybody that's putting out anything about his murder, because I want to know. Just like you do. So, I actually want to go over something with Joe. Not personally, just on YouTube. He told me that Tom Grant was there that night. But I guess maybe he was confused. I don't know. Let's see. We're gonna go to a less played one. Actually, I'll do my own commentary on it. The original. Because most people don't understand because it's so cut in bad places. They don't understand he's not talking about the same day or night at certain places. And I can go more into detail of more things that are known now. Yeah, Mark, even in that autobiography, he's like, I just wanted to get home to do the share of the heroin that we had. I had a dream with Mark, and I was literally in Kurt's house, and I was upstairs with Kurt, and he was packing something into a backpack, and I looked at Kurt, and Kurt looked at me with like a shocked kind of look. And then somehow my consciousness was able to travel downstairs, and I seen Mark in the living room on the couch. He was just a dark shadow, and he had his arms crossed, and I knew it was him. But I could see him, like he was dark, but it was him, and he was just sitting there with his arms crossed in the dark. The house was the same layout, I bet, I guess, in 94. And I had a dream with me beside Danny and Mark Lanigan standing, and we were just in pitch darkness all around us. I don't know what to make of that though. But here we go with the Joe Burns interview, and I'm going to add more details about what we know now.
Hi, my name is Joseph Burns, and I was there. And
Yeah, I watch all the content too. I don't care people saying, don't listen to this person. We should. We should hear what they have to say.
At the house on Main Lake when Kurt Cobain was murdered, with my girlfriend Bonnie Dillard, Callie DeWitt, Jennifer Adamson, and other characters that showed up, Dylan Carlson, and we were four.
And Mark Lanigan, most likely Roddy Bottom, and Daniel Clint Rich. And I know there's a lot of misinformation about Danny going around, but a lot of people don't know a lot about Danny. The fact that he still did heroin, even on video with me. The fact that Virginia Collins did Courtney Love's Hair in 1996 or 1997 and told Courtney that he was going around saying that he was involved. And the fact that the Mike Noonan and Sarah Noonan interview with him and Ryan didn't actually even happen. Where she apparently said, he didn't do it, he didn't say that back then. That was a lie by Ryan and Danny, and Who Killed Kurt put it out, and now everyone believes it. That's not good for justice for Kurt, but at least they're making money. Here we go.
Other people, and here's basically what happened. Me, Callie DeWitt, Jennifer Adamson, and Bob Wood were there for multiple days, hanging out, listening to records. I was doing tattoo work on Callie DeWitt, and just basically having a good time, and
Yeah. And I suspect, just like how right here he couldn't admit Mark Lanigan's involvement or Roddy's involvement, that eventually he'll come clean with Courtney's involvement in the red dress. Just like he did with About Mark in the book, finally.
then after being there for a few days, I went to the kitchen to grab something, and Kurt was there.
Thank you. And so Kurt was there. That would have been on Saturday, April 2nd, 1994.
We talked a little bit, and he explained what was going on, that he had left his treatment place in California. He had been hiding out. I say hiding out because he's trying to avoid his wife.
Yeah, the last place, if I was Kurt Cobain, the last place I would have went back to, the last place we would have went back to is his house. Oh my God. I would have stayed right in rehab. And I bet you would have too. Away from them.
Courtney Love, from her, or well, basically people she had hired to find him, and
Hey, Rosemary, get a hold of Mark Lanigan.
basically he was saying that he was
Courtney should be in a lot of trouble, not just for having someone murdered, but manipulating people that were on drugs and easily able to be manipulated. Just like what happened to me with the Isaac Cappy case. But she did that in a really worse way.
trying to negotiate a new contract for not necessarily Nirvana, but for himself. But he was trying to get the contract for himself, basically whatever he did, you know.
It goes in line with what his rehab counselor said, that he was wanting to work on 4-track music, doing his own thing basically without his band and management having to manage it all the time. Sorry.
That he was trying to get that put out. Whatever project he did, he was negotiating for that. We just casually talked a little bit, nothing important, you know, and then he grabbed some things to eat and some water.
So this is still on Saturday, unless they clipped it way after, and they're not telling us that he's now talking about. Just a second. Why am I so stupid? Sometimes. If Kurt came back on the second, he would have ate the meal then. At nighttime and died on the third. I don't know why the book said that he ate the meal on Saturday, and then it goes into. Oh wait, yeah. Okay, so it's Saturday in the AM, and then it goes into nighttime. So in the AM is when he's eating this meal in front of Joe, and during the daytime on Saturday, he doesn't really see Kurt, but eventually they meet up and they get high, sometime probably in the evening or around nighttime. And then Kurt would have another meal. Probably they had many Marie Callender's meals, since that's what he wanted to do, is just have meals on the go available. Let me see the comments. Oh, wow. Yeah, so he would have had another meal the other night, but this is speaking right now about Saturday, April 2nd, in the AM when he came back after the flight.
Fruit and, yeah, Murray Calendar's TV dinner, like, like turkey with stuffing and mashed potatoes and some corn, or chicken, breaded chicken, and,
It was breaded chicken.
uh, and like some corn and mashed potatoes, and,
By the way, I'm not going to say who stated this to me, but it's someone that obviously knows what happened. Kurt was saying, "What the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck," like yelling it as he was being attacked by Mark Lanigan and Dylan. And I need to put that out in a bigger way, but I can't really do anything right yet. I'm under a gag order with another celebrity case. Ironically, she's friends with Courtney. Anyway.
said he was just gonna go, back where he had been, hanging out for a little bit. We didn't even know he was there at first. He was just kind of hiding out, and so we both grabbed some things to drink.
Now he's probably talking about Saturday night. He's seen Kurt in the morning in the AM on the 2nd. Didn't really know he was there during the daytime because he wasn't hanging around and showing himself around too much. And this is could have been when he was out as well. Obviously, it would have been. Then he comes back. They meet in the evening or around nighttime, and start getting high together. And he eats another meal. I really have to go over this because Who Killed Kurt did not do that.
Uh, when he went back out to where he was, had been hanging out for a little bit, and I went back to Callie's room.
This would have been because in the book he said he had a meal, that meal. Then he said he wanted to crash out. Kurt said he wanted to crash out. So he's talking right now about Saturday during the day.
I didn't even mention anything to anyone in the room, and went back to doing the tattoo work. Then after a little,
So the CD thing, I mean the cassette thing would have been probably Saturday night going into the third.
bit of time and whatnot, casually, everyone figured out that
Yeah, eventually everyone figured out that Kurt was there during Saturday, April 2nd, and that's when Courtney found out too, that he was back at the house specifically. She knew that he had left rehab before that on the 1st, but now she knew he was back at the fucking house.
Kurt was up there, but just
And yeah, if he was told to go there, then obviously, she knows he's there.
left him
But
alone
Callie did call and tell her as well and confirm it that he is there on Saturday the 2nd.
because he kind of just wanted to be left alone, and so we went.
It makes sense that he would die at nighttime or in the morning, early morning then. If she and everyone else suddenly finds out that Kurt's actually back here at the home, what the fuck? He's supposed to fucking be in rehab. Like,
Went about what we were doing. I was doing tattoo work on Callie, and then each one of us, or at least me and Callie, went and talked to Kurt. Not upstairs, but just downstairs when he came down, like,
so when he came back down into the kitchen on Saturday, not in the very AM when he returned, but later in the day, probably evening, nighttime, this is what he's talking about.
uh, mostly in the kitchen. And
And coming down doesn't mean. Oh, sorry. Later in the video, coming down doesn't mean he's coming down from the greenhouse. It means he's coming down to the basement.
he finally came down and talked to both me and Callie in the kitchen, and
This is specifically the kitchen.
he had a tape that he had recorded, and he gave it to Callie and said it was him just jamming on the just basic recordings that he had made with him playing multiple instruments. It was a basic 4-track recording. He had told Callie that he could put her down on his little record label he was talking about doing, he was gonna sign like just.
Yeah, Mark would have had the balls to do something and push at Kurt and like try to drag him out.
Some
Hey,
local pop rock bands put her down on this little label that he had, and he told me.
Mark would be anyone to just bully people around. He even looks like that bully in that movie, A Christmas Story, from like the 80s. Red. There too. Yeah, he absolutely is. I'm planning to go to some filming locations around here. A Christmas Story was actually filmed here. That house with the leg lamp in it and the pole where the kid put his tongue on the pole. I'm gonna do that. But here we go.
Changed the name on this tape and put it out on his label, this 4-track recording. And Dylan,
Yeah, you can get high for the rest of your life. Imagine if you're Courtney, if you do this, like literally, you're set. Like you're gonna have everything. You know how motivated he would be to be violent right then?
it showed up with another person. It seems like there was one person with him, and then I think 2 people had shown up with him.
So Dylan and Mark, and then the other two people, by what we know, could have been Roddy Bottom and Daniel Clint Rich.
Just with not in any car, just they
Sorry, by the way, the Roddy Bottom thing is a tip by Bonnie to Unsolved Mysteries in 1997 saying he was there that night that Kurt was getting high. And that would have been April 2nd. This night.
apparently got dropped off, I think, at the end in the driveway or something, and because there was no place for a car to park except in the driveway or
By the way, Mark Lanigan only lived 10 minutes away from Kurt's house at this time.
in front of the
Yeah,
house,
Wayne's
but
Daily.
there was no one parked there, and so they were there. Just I think
Yeah.
they got dropped off.
Mark's song, Living Dead, which is about Kurt. You've been fed suspicion. Your daddy's over the wall.
On the street maybe, and just walk down the driveway. Well, before that,
So they're walking up. And remember, in March, Kurt was at Caitlin Moore's saying he was getting death threats and he didn't want to go back home. But Courtney was blowing up her voicemail and threatening her, and she made Kurt leave.
I believe Gavin were talking, saying that there could be some people looking around like private eyes, some people that Courtney had hired, and
Let me think about this. If Callie's saying there was private investigators there already, and this is April 2nd, that doesn't fit in with what Tom Grant's saying, that they were there on the 7th. Or Ernie Barth on the 3rd. Right? Unless Callie was just lying to scare everybody out of the house.
people that she just had.
Yeah, no, Christian wouldn't do that, and he was actually insulting her sarcastically in that audio. Anyone can really tell. Anyone that really tries to consciously understand where he's coming from can see that he's not being honest, he's being a jerk right there while he was saying all that.
And she had them come over looking for Kurt. The people that were looking for him that Courtney had hired were just basically doing Carlson and a couple other people had.
Yeah, and she came from a background of actually going to music school and everything and being a clean-cut person. She's not going to date someone that's fucking horny and an asshole and on drugs. Oh my gosh, that's leeching off of people too.
Just showed up and like looking around, trying to be sneaky and looking all around the house, trying not to.
Alert us too much. I remember this because I've watched it so much. So, and then he walks up to, so we know this because of the book, this part that I'm saying. He then walks up to Joe, Dylan does, and asks, "Where's Kurt? Where's Kurt?" How would you have said it? You're looking to kill someone. Where's Kurt? Probably like that. I did that a little too well.
Alert us too much, but trying to check different places. That's why Kurt was being real, like just like careful, like really actually completely sneaking around and trying to go where he was hiding out at, literally not trying to be seen by any of these people. And
All during the day, April 2nd, still in nighttime.
but Jimbo did go come through the door on Wasalon and
Mark Lanigan, the night porter. Who can get me heroin late at night? This guy can show up at my house doing that. And Roddy Bottom. Maybe Daniel Flintridge. I can't discredit him just because he did lie about things. There's a lot of things that are really suspicious about him. But what a stupid thing to do. To be involved and lie on your deathbed about it and actually die on that bed. But he did commit suicide. He stopped taking his medicine. He was crinkling it, pretending that he was taking it. He was telling me he wanted to end his life. And then he did it. He stopped taking it. He pretended that he was taking it. And I know because I speak with Kat, his wife. And he was smoking heroin on video with me. I wasn't smoking heroin, but he was in a pipe. Like a round pipe thing. He would put his phone down and do it, but I could still see it because he would go over his phone. Once in a while. Yeah, here we go.
that's when he was trying to get Kurt with this other guy to go
In one of Dylan's songs, he says, you never knew that I would be your demise.
back upstairs with them. Dylan,
Back upstairs with them. He wasn't with Mark and Dylan in the greenhouse before. Kurt himself was there. But Joe was talking about earlier how Kurt was in the greenhouse. Now he's in the house. In the basement. We know that because of the book, and they're trying to get him back up there, is what Joe's saying. They weren't there with him previously. If I had my way, I'd burn this whole building down. Yeah, I know. Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
to go upstairs with this other guy. The last time he had come down, he was like totally out of it, and really, I couldn't even talk to him.
So he's talking about Kurt coming down on April 2nd, out of the greenhouse or whatever. He's already high. Wait, when Kurt came down. So he's talking right here. This is what I mentioned earlier. He's talking about the basement. So when Kurt came down, he was already getting high. We know that because of the book, putting it all together. We know that's what he's saying now.
Callie had already been down there and talked to Dylan, and they were trying to get Kurt to go back up stairs.
So go back up the stairs out of the basement and come to the greenhouse.
Dylan was having a little bit of a hard time with this other guy trying to get Kurt to go upstairs, like back to the room, and
The greenhouse room.
at the same time, Callie was telling me that we all need to get out of there, and that Kurt would be
So this is where he skips a lot. Kurt wouldn't go up there with him, but they got him to go up there. How? They attacked him in the basement. We know this because of the book. And I'll go over it again. Just a second. It happened very quickly, the assault, almost like they were wrestling or grappling, so it didn't freak me out right away, but it sure did look pretty strange to Bonnie and Jennifer. Lanigan either grabbed something from the band room or he had something with him. He wound up and tried to hit Kurt in the head. Looked like he missed at first. Dylan was kind of holding him down, pushing his elbow into the back of Kurt's head. Kurt was high, he wasn't like bobbing and weaving. He was wrestled to the ground. It was happening really quickly in front of us, in front of Joe, Bonnie, and Jennifer, and Callie. We all went into shock. He was talking about him, Bonnie, and Jennifer being the ones going into shock. One of the girls screamed. Joe, held Bonnie in his arms and pushed her away from the scene. Lanigan successfully connected something across Kurt's head. Probably the fire poker that was seen in the greenhouse that had no reason to be up there. There was no fireplace in there. They started to They started to shoot Kurt up with preloaded needles. Sorry, I'm not laughing or anything. I'm just fucking don't know why I can't speak at times. They started to shoot Kurt up with preloaded needles. Did it again. Lanigan mainly, but Dylan could have been helping or doing it also. At least 2 needles were used on Kurt. Anyway, and that's when he goes into saying Kurt was moving or pulling away while being injected. Callie was talking to me. Sorry, there was bleeding and bruising around the injection sites as if Kurt was moving or pulling away while being injected. The next part is kind of blurry. I remember at some point Callie talking to me, either pushing me away from them as they entered the kitchen or went upstairs. So this is what he's speaking about right now. That's what he left out in this interview.
Fine, Cook didn't want to go up, back.
Yeah, Kurt was actually saying, "What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?" He could say it, like, I didn't say it exactly right with much exaggeration. I'm drunk, sorry. But I was told that was what Kurt said. I don't. And I think because of Callie's artwork, what he has written in one of them, right in smack in the middle. Don't touch me, you pig. I think that's when Kurt, was being manhandled by Mark and pushed and his clothing touched his shirt and everything, trying to get him to the greenhouse.
Anywhere with Dylan, but they got him to go back upstairs.
And they got him to go back upstairs by attacking him in the basement. Bonnie or Jennifer screamed. They then injected him with a lethal dose of black tar heroin. And then they brought his body up out of the basement, upstairs, outside, up the greenhouse stairs, and into the greenhouse. They probably flopped his body right on the floor right then, and it just dragged him right into the fucking farthest spot on the left, where anyone really couldn't see what they were doing.
With Dylan's doing the.
You see how his body, where it was found in the greenhouse, it's hidden. Like someone did something bad and they were trying to hide it. Thank you, ho dog. But that's what they were doing. They were trying to hide the evil they did. They put the body, Kurt's body, right in the far left corner when you're at the back of the greenhouse.
Just outright, but the other guy is like falling back until he decided, fucking,
And this is Mark Lanigan. I originally thought this is Danny, but this is Mark Lanigan. This is what Mark Lanigan is doing.
Dylan, he needs to do this and just do it or whatever, and quit talking and just um, kind of use the body to yeah, and kind of push, or whatever. He gets basically herded that way,
So they're carrying Kurt there. He's already unconscious, if not dead, really unconscious and in the midst of dying. And they're moving him anyway right then.
past the doorway, but all like working on getting yeah.
I imagine they would have him like his both of his arms like on their shoulders and like holding him that way and kind of like just playing it off maybe in case anyone from behind sees like they're all walking like he's too drunk and wasted maybe. And that's when blood from his head would leak down onto his shirt. And of course there's blood on his pant leg because that's the thing too. And let's say he had Mark or Dylan had blood on their hands when they put his body down on the greenhouse floor and then moved him by pulling him into the direction of the far left of the greenhouse when you're standing at the back of the greenhouse.
Caught up into the greenhouse, and then you got Kelly on me all of a sudden, trying to saying there's a bunch of reasons why it might be good to take off from there.
And then after this, and after Joe hears the gunshot, Dylan and Mark come in, and he's playing innocent. Imagine you had some drug dealers come in and kill your friends, and they tried to play it off like it didn't happen or nothing happened, but you knew something fucking bad happened, and they come in after. Joe's like, hey, so where's Kurt? Acting like he's still alive, doesn't place Joe into immediate danger. Because the killers, the fucking druggies that will kill anybody, don't think that Joe knows that his friend was just killed. Right in fucking front of them. They just think, oh, he was attacked and everything and moved or something. You don't want to raise too much suspicion in front of killers. You want to be like playing innocent even with what you know already.
Dylan's trying to coerce.
I've literally had a guy like come in my apartment years ago and put a gun on the table and just try to scare me. And instead of being like, fuck you, you're doing this, I was like Joe myself, and I'm just like being nice to him and everything and trying to be his best friend and like playing innocent and like trying to look innocent. That's what Joe was doing.
Kurt and kind of, like physically a little bit. I'm trying to push him up that way. I got Callie trying to talk to me or whatever, about like taking off, we should get out of there.
And they do for a little bit on that Sunday. But then they come back.
And I'm thinking, maybe that I shouldn't, I didn't feel like I should take off, yeah, I was trying to go with those guys, well, with
Mark and Dylan, who knows if Roddy or Daddy is with them at this point, the other one or two individuals. Most likely both of them.
with Dylan and Kurt, but that's not working out so good.
Yeah, so it's time to take the fuck off. And that was on Sunday. morning in the early AM when they took off. Time to take off. He's just been fucking killed. But then they come back to the home, and then they leave again on Monday night.
And, Cook's getting fast talk,
So this is in the basement, Sunday, April 3rd, 1994. And they're trying, Danny told me, tried, with Mark Lanigan, they came in. This is what he told me. Mark Lanigan, him, and Dylan came in, and they were saying they had good heroin, like really good fucking heroin, like really trying to sell it to him. But Kurt wouldn't fucking do anything. He wouldn't go with them.
and it seems like when they do still get them up the stairs,
Which Kurt wasn't doing alone. He was not able to. He was unconscious. He was attacked in the basement by Mark Lanigan and Dylan mainly.
that the guy started to
I think it was just Mark and Dylan attacking him in the basement.
give Dylan a hand
Mark and Dylan.
to get him up the
And this is Mark and Dylan getting him up the stairs too.
stairs. You know what I mean? But he was fucked up when he came back.
He was fucked up when he came back down because he was in the greenhouse. And he came back down to the basement. He did heroin with Joe and Bonnie, and Jennifer was around. So he was fucked up back when he came back down to the basement.
Down, didn't need to go back up there.
Yeah, and Billy Corgan was leaving really nasty messages on Kurt's voicemail at this time at that house.
If them trying to get him to go do another hit it up, there was no
It's sad to see people like Billy Corgan on Joe Rogan when they shouldn't have any, like, spotlight on them at all anymore, except for, like, one of infamy. That's not appreciated, and that is not appreciated by people in the world.
need for that, and it's like, and I'm thinking, like, what the fuck, he definitely doesn't need to fucking do any more dope.
Yeah, he doesn't need to go up to the greenhouse. He doesn't need to do any dope. Stop being drug dealer bullies that want to fucking bully someone in their own fucking home. He's saying no. He's holding restriction against you. You fucking feel that vibe. Fuck off. I'm sorry, I'm to the state of what it would be like. Right then.
It's like, fucking, they had,
And I've had people like that. They're drug dealers or whatever, and they think they're tough shit, and they can stay in someone's home for longer than they want, than the person wants them to stay in their home for. They do that a lot. And Mark Lanigan was that kind of a person. Back then, at least.
a few minutes.
Oh, but he got help from, like, rehab help and everything from Courtney.
A game plan, you know what I mean?
Oh, Mark and Dylan are doing good now because they killed Kurt Cobain and they got help with therapy and rehab and everything. So congratulations that they're doing so good now in life. They came a long way. Fucking assholes. And they became... Dylan didn't even start performing with Earth and touring until after Kurt was dead and he got help with rehab and everything. The dark years, the lost years of Seattle. Mm-hmm. My best friend's girl, yep, Munish. Yep, March 1st. They opened with that song.
There was a point there, I mean,
It's ironic that Come As You Are, the power shut off as they were playing Come As You Are. To me, that represented, like, that's what we've really needed to do since the 90s. And we've become so materialistic and fake and, like, the opposite of raw and real that was back then. And we really need to, like, feel that, right?
Well, I felt like
Mm,
I should have done something, but it's like, like, and at the same time,
would you do anything if you seen a big guy, Mark Lanigan and Dylan, and Mark's on Dylan's side? So if you try to hurt Dylan or stop Dylan, Mark's gonna fucking attack you. Let's say it's a big drug dealer guy that's really threatening, will kill. Are you going to step in? You weren't prepared to kill anybody. You weren't prepared to attack anyone. You weren't prepared for any of this. They were. They came in premeditated, which is strong.
fine.
Think about Columbine. They came in premeditated. Nobody expected any of that. It happened in a flash. With premeditated crime, it's scary. It's shocking like that. There was a guy that killed a news anchor live on the news. It's scary. It's shock.
Um, Shows up with Callie and her came out of the room, and I walked down the driveway part to the left, away from the garage. She's trying to get us to go right, and
If this is where he hears the gunshot, then this is right then on Sunday, April 3rd, when all this was happening. So
and I'm down to go, but I want to go on.
right, it is.
I want to find out, I guess, what's the fuck is going on with.
She did meet up with Corrigan then in Rome. She might have even said in the letter that she sent to him in rehab something about that. She did send him a thing, magazine article about her saying Billy Corrigan, like she was doing stuff with him. So she probably did include in the letter as well, talking about it. Wouldn't doubt it. Maybe not though, but I wouldn't doubt it. But Billy Corrigan was leaving nasty messages on Kurt Cobain's home phone. So Billy Corrigan would have also known that Kurt Cobain was back home on April 2nd, 1994, if he was leaving messages then, obviously. And I forget which YouTube video I heard about that. You probably have heard it too if you're really looking into the case and for a while. Here we
Let's
go.
fucking go on and
Oh, just a sec. Wish Kurt would have had someone to help him at the house that night. Right. He was on his own, but surrounded by a whole bunch of people, party people, at the same fucking time. But when I met, yeah, it's the same thing. Have you ever seen that where that video? It's a live leak kind of video. I know that live leak's not around anymore, but it was a shocking video where this woman reporter was killed by her like jealous partner while she was reporting live on TV. She was a blonde woman, and he just walked up and shot her. It happened years ago, and it was a main story in the mainstream news. That's exactly like what happened. Suddenly, someone's walking in, and it's like shock. If I could label it my own word, shock murder. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? What the fuck did you just do? Are we gonna be in trouble too? Are we gonna get hurt too? And someone's on my channel saying that their father took them to see Kurt Cobain's house when this was happening. This could be someone just messing with me, and then that's what I believe. I don't know though. But apparently he took 12 photos that night of he thought Kurt was coming in, but there was other people coming in and out of the house that night, and he was taking photos of them. Um, it's one of my recent videos where that comment is. I don't believe it, but yeah, I don't believe it at all. Just like with this guy that says the Gus guy was working with him on the video, and he's a guy that fucking just has like clearly like the worst mental health issues, and he's not well, and you can just tell he's lying. Like I don't know if you guys know him. He was on Facebook saying that he was interviewed for the movie and everything last days, and he drove Kurt and someone, Kathleen Hanna or someone. But he's totally bullshitting. He's not worth talking about, but it's the same kind of fucking person. Like that comment that I got. That's bullshit. If that was the case, you would have went to the news a long time ago with that.
Find out what.
I don't know what people. It's probably a WKK troll. Or look, he believed this. Now we can discredit Joe and Danny. But here we go.
What's going on or whatever, you know, and in the body.
Grunge gods, no. Who said that they were on the phone with Kurt while Kurt was being murdered?
Doesn't, she wants me to take the car and she wants to get out of there.
And that's on Sunday night, and they do get out of there, but they return Monday. Or, no, that's Sunday fucking morning, so they would return on Sunday, and they would leave on Monday. I'm gonna answer questions for a bit as I roll another joint. Now, I've been having dreams of Kurt since I was a baby. Because I've seen him on Much Music here in Canada. And my dad was never around, and I thought he was my dad because it was something that was gone. All I seen on the TV was bad, tragic news about it. And I remember my brother being upset about it, and my sister more. But I was 1 year old when it happened. When I was seeing those reports on the news, Much Music and all that, that was when I was like 4 years old or whatever. It was just like repeated stuff that I was seeing. And at the same time, I was seeing so much stuff about Hanson and Backstreet Boys. And it's funny, there's that t-shirt that says Nirvana, but it's the Hanson brothers. That's kind of making fun of my generation of growing up. Our memories are kind of faded. But I thought he was my dad. And because my dad left, and he was a biker, and was dirty, grungy, like, had blonde hair. And I'm actually from fucking, I found out that I'm from, I think it's County Tyrone, yeah, where Kurt's from. So I'm really, 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 really distant cousin. And that's cool to me. And I bragged about it when I found out. But people are like, who gives a fuck? And I'm like, eh. Unless I deleted shit about it. Alright, I have rolled my joint. Sorry. Alright, here we go, back with the Joe video.
Yeah, right before that, he walked away or whatever, and then it was just me and Bonnie for a sec, We heard Because
Yeah, I did. And I remember seeing, like in the year 1998 or 1999, a magazine my mom had in a big metal tin, and it had a picture of Courtney Love on the cover looking crazy. I probably knew it was her connected with Kurt's case because of photos more in it. And I remember seeing stuff about the Clintons too in Africa. And 9/11. Anyway, there we go.
me and Bonnie were together, you know, talking out the driveway when that uh, the gunshot happened. We were out in the driveway.
But now he's saying he can't recall if Bonnie was in the house when it happened or not. But Joe was definitely outside when the gunshot happened and he heard it. He moseyed his way outside, just like the book says. He found an excuse to get away from Callie and Jennifer and Bonnie, and he went back outside shortly after, and he heard the gunshot. Less than 30 minutes, less than 20 minutes, less than 25 minutes.
Um, or by right by the driveway, you know. We shot a lot of guns and stuff.
Right by the driveway. He probably would have come out of the kitchen door right at the back, right near the greenhouse. Not where I had to put that figure in the video displaying it.
Stuff, and it wasn't just like a regular gunshot from a pistol or a rifle. It was not as
It was not as loud. Probably because they took some fucking pellets out of the fucking bullet. Let's not make it too loud in this neighborhood.
as loud as a
And Mark Lanigan smoking the cigarette at 2:30 a.m. in a song, and then 2:32, his trigger finger all blistered and blue, which means that he walked around a bit and smoked that cigarette, like chain smoked it really hard, like he was stressing a lot about what he was about to do.
regular gunshot. We just she wanted to get out of there, and but we finally left there um, late that night. We did leave finally. Jan
And he left late that night. Not on Easter, though. Maybe he did leave Easter night, and it was going into early Monday. That means Courtney was there then, though. So let's just go with Monday, what we're told in the book. They were leaving at night, and Courtney was there. She was in the red dress. And that wasn't Mark Lanigan.
Kelly came with. We did like leave.
Oh, fuck. Hodog, thank you. And I'm glad that I gave you a crown and grunge gods. I'm gonna snapshot that. Thank you. That was perfect to know. So he did that, but he probably put the bullets back in. Or if he was the one that went out on Saturday and got more bullets, because Harvey said the bullet thing, it wasn't open. The cardboard was, the box wasn't open. I don't know if he's still here, but apparently it wasn't open. So that means if that was not Callie pretending to be him and getting bullets, it probably was Kurt getting bullets, because he was alive on Saturday, April 2nd, 1994 still. That's awesome. Thank you, Hodog. But that means You know, there's no reason to pretend to be Kurt to buy bullets because Kurt is still alive on April 2nd. So that whole Cali buying the bullet thing, maybe that's a conspiracy that just has been spoken about too much, so now people blindly believe it. Because if Kurt took pellets out, that would explain why that is. Because the bullets that Harvey had in the limo, they weren't open at all. All of them were still in there. So yeah, it would have been Kurt getting more bullets. We just fucking saw that. Thank you.
Went all the way to Jen's house, was with
Yep.
Callie and Jen. And we, cracked out, and I didn't,
Yeah, you get the fuck out of there. You go to Jimmy Boyle's.
she kind of went spiraling, um, the heroin use got really bad after that, and I got the fuck out of there, just like Callie was saying, though.
And now the murder is over. And I was talking about how Callie was saying they should just get the fuck out of there and out of town. And he's referencing back to what Callie was saying back then on April 3rd.
We should, that we should all do, but I think I'm the only one that looks that, really got the fuck out of that. It seems like those other people just, huh, got with Courtney, and it sounds like they all just, got taken care of by Courtney. I thought,
And they did. Mark Lanigan rehab. Oh, I'm doing a lot better. Now I can tour and, do all this band stuff. With Dylan Carlson. Same thing. Now he's doing better and he can tour with Earth. Now they're a touring band. Oh, and they still tour to this day now, right after Kurt died. After Dylan got clean for a little bit. And still touring now. Isn't it awesome? Look at us. Never mind our dead friend and blood on the fucking ground in the greenhouse.
when you have police or whatever, they're gonna like be up in everyone's business, but they did not do that
And this is on Monday, April 4th, 1994, that Joe was speaking about when people came over and detectives and police.
at all, and they stayed away from people.
So this is before Courtney showed up in the red dress and was there.
Or, you know what I
Courtney specifically chose to go there at nighttime and avoid all this hassle,
mean? They
chaos.
were just in and out. It just like hurts my head thinking about it. Callie was actively trying to, like get some people out of the house, like me and Bonnie, anybody that could be like, could talk to the cops or whatever, be a witness.
And trying to get them out right then when it was happening. And then when they came back, obviously still trying to encourage them to all leave. And they eventually all did leave together.
To
That
what was
Monday.
going on, and Kelly was straight up telling me, we all need to get out of here.
Grohl did steal Kurt's song on that first Foo Fighters album, then holy crap. I'm going to be doing a video about him and all. If I see something there that's worth pointing out, I'll make sure people know.
To, like far away, you know what I mean? Like at least a couple states away.
Remember Mark's song? Your daddy's only a couple states away. He jumped over the wall. It's so obvious. Let's go to, now that that's over, let's go to the rarely heard one, which is a phone call between Matthew and Joe. I'm gonna go further into it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
brought this other guy over.
Who was the other guy?
Mark Lanigan, Dylan Carlson, possibly Danny Clint Rich, and Roddy Bottom.
Who was the other guy?
Yeah.
Um, looking, yeah, I tried to remember, I'm trying to remember the goddamn name exactly, because I don't.
Was it Danny Rich?
Danny and Tom or something, or fucking, let me think here, fucking, that's why I kind of wanted to talk to Bonnie, you know?
Yeah, I know.
It'd be really helpful.
A Body's Unsolved Mysteries tip from 1997 states that Roddy Bottom was there the night that Kurt was murdered. The night before Kurt was murdered. That would have been Saturday, April 2nd at nighttime.
It would. I know. I'm trying. You know. It's slow going.
Maybe I should fucking call. I guess I just got it hard. It's been a second since I talked to her. Yeah. But, what, the guy, Danny Rich, is that the name you said?
Yeah.
Danny Rich,
And he was with Dylan.
yeah, they were about like, there was, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we got like two guys that were,
Had you seen them before? These guys?
like
One of them, yes, Mark Lanigan, he's seen before. And by the way, people like to point out, oh, he went on a crop duster. Danny, he brought Courtney on a crop duster. He did bring Courtney over, but not on a crop duster. If you listen back to that deathbed confession, he said his cousin had a crop duster license and he owned a fleet of planes. He took one of those planes. Danny has a license, but it was his cousin that had the crop duster license, and he owned a fleet of planes. Courtney was there on Monday, April 4th, 1994. Monday.
I might have seen before, I believe I've seen before, yeah. Actually,
But you don't know his name?
Christ, fucking, what are we trying to
I know
think?
someone held on to the crop duster thing. Let's tell WKK and let's laugh about that. And Tom Grant did too. But they didn't actually listen to what Danny was saying. He said that his cousin owns a crop duster license and that he owns a fleet of planes, and Danny took one of those planes. And Danny did lie in that interview, even though it was on his actual deathbed where he died. He fucking lied too. He is involved, but he lied about his involvement. And he tried to blame other people that brought his name into the thing. It was originally Virginia Collins, his ex-wife, that brought his name into the thing, into this case, when she was doing Courtney Love's Hair in 1996 or 1997. And she told Courtney what Danny was saying.
Uh, uh, it was, oh shit. Lord, you're fat, buddy.
I'm not gonna let Daniel get away with what he did just because it's not popular opinion that he wasn't there. It's popular opinion that he wasn't there because of people that are influencers on YouTube. He definitely most likely did have involvement, and just because it's not popular opinion, I'm not gonna discredit it. I'm gonna hold every fucking person responsible that was responsible for hurting Kurt Cobain, whether I'm loved for it or hated for it, even because of Mark Lanigan being involved, which we know more so that he was actually involved, and people are hating me over that. But I don't care. I'm gonna fucking expose it.
It's all up
Oh.
on me. He wants to go for a walk again already. Okay, um, fucking,
Hey, Bubs, I'll be.
um, there,
Joe.
was it, that guy you wrote a book with, what's his name?
Oh, his dog needs to go out again. We can't talk. Oh, wait.
Tom Grant?
Tom Grant,
Yeah.
yeah. What's up with that guy?
I don't know. I caught Tom in a bunch telling, some lies, and so we haven't spoken in years.
Oh, no, years?
Yeah, we haven't spoken in a long.
It does tell lies. I think he was taken for a fool by Mark and Dylan and still is. But the fact that he's discrediting everything now and really going for, like, discrediting Mark being there and Joe saying, it makes me think more and more, like Joe said, he was there that night. But maybe Joe's covering that up too, just like he is about Courtney's involvement on Monday, April 4th.
I was fact checking his story, and then I found out that I had huge problems with it, and then I became very suspicious of him after that, and then I cut ties with him.
Well, he just, what was he just telling you stuff that
He's telling me stuff that wasn't true. Yeah,
What he's doing
weird.
now.
That sucks.
it does suck, but it's done now. I've given a couple of interviews about what happened with Tom and I, but was Tom there that night?
That guy's supposed to be like a private detective or some shit?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the,
Joe told me that Tom Grant was there that night, but now he's not talking about that. Yep, and that would have been Danny's involvement right there in that Unsolved Mysteries set from 1997, which is exactly when all this was coming out, 1996, 1997, about Danny. At least. Danny was, his name was being outed even before Mark Lanigan's or Dylan's. Yeah, Ryan and Danny never spoke with Sarah over the phone or Mike, but they lied and said they did. And Danny lied on his deathbed too. And he's lying to cover things up. He's not just lying to lie. He's lying to cover things up. Is what I've realized, is what Matthew has realized, is what a lot of people have realized that I speak with closely about the things that I have with Danny.
it's, there was like a private eye guy, that was like,
Oh, wow.
oh, was, is that, oh shit, you see, I'm not, there was this private eye guy there, creeping around, that last night.
Yeah.
Probably taking photos. Tom Grant, the same person taking photos of the greenhouse scene afterwards.
But do you know if it was Tom Grant or was it someone else?
Danny, I've been told personally by his wife how he died. He was eating a sandwich, and, well, I won't go into that. He stopped taking his medicine. He pretended he was taking it. He would crinkle it and pretend he was taking it, sorry. Oh my gosh. It was his heart medication. And he kept telling me he wanted to die and kill himself. And I'm like, dude, I speak like that. You don't need to speak like that. We're going to do good. We're going to write a book and everything, and you're going to say everything. And he's like, my life's not getting any better. That's his exact words, and he said that a lot. And he killed himself by not taking them. He was doing that on purpose, and Kat and I realized that. And then he had a heart attack in his bed, and he was naked. He left his sandwich in the bathroom. He usually doesn't do that. And then he was like getting into bed. He was found with both legs off the bed, but his torso on the bed, and he was naked. So it was like he was getting into bed as he had a heart attack. And I was the last person he spoke voice to voice with. Then he messaged some people online, and then he messaged me goodnight, and then he was walking around naked, made himself a sandwich at night in the dark, went to the bathroom, left the plate there with the sandwich on it, and he went to go to lay down on the same bed where I did that deathbed confession video with him where he lied about things to cover things up specifically. And he had a heart attack. Both of his feet were off the bed, but his torso and his head and his arms were on the bed. He stopped taking his medicine on purpose. He would crinkle it and pretend that he was taking it. And he made Kat hear that as he was pretending to crinkle it and take the medicine out of the packet. He did that for about 2 weeks, and he knew it would kill him. And Kat found that out after he died, that he was pretending to take his heart medicine. And he was telling me he wanted to die and kill himself, and it was not like I had ever heard him speak before, and this is the first time I'm really speaking it. It's the first time I'm speaking about it. I've posted about it on my wall, but I haven't spoken about it. Uh, let's go with this. Yeah, let's continue with this.
Do you know, it, is, it, is there a picture of that guy?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I could. There are pictures of him around. Yeah. I mean, you can look him up online easily enough. Older pictures too.
Oh, Paul Grant?
Yeah.
Just look at Paul Grant?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the guys doing about it were like, I don't know, super shady.
Yeah.
To say the fucking least. And then Dylan there.
Mark Lanigan, Danny. I think Joe would have found Roddy that way too, with, his gayness
Fucking,
as well.
yeah. I was trying to, not think, that he, shit, I just, it's just like fucking, worse than I was trying to fucking think,
Yeah. So it was Dylan and.
Worse than he was trying to think. So, like, when he was questioning Mark, where's Kurt? And he heard the gunshot, he knew, but he was trying not to think. Again, shock murder. Just killing someone in an instant and it being really shocking in front of the people that it's happening in front of. Maybe willing ignorance. Willful ignorance.
That got him up to the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Courtney is involved in all that and like the living Grateful Dead and all that stuff and being given acid and all that. So was a certain celebrity I'm in a lawsuit with who was also in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, just like Courtney Love was way, way back, where a lot were groomed and trafficked by people like the Epstein people. But her decision in killing Kurt was because he was divorcing her and she didn't want that. And she used the system that allowed her to get where she's at.
And so there would have been three of them, and the PI was just sort of standing there?
Um, the PI guy, um, well, he was like hired by Courtney, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, fucking,
Yeah, look, when you look at the truth about this and about what happened to Danny and the fact that he committed suicide, uh, and the outcome of him not taking his medicine was a heart attack, and he knew that. That's how it was suicide. And you know about Virginia Collins doing Courtney Love's hair, his ex-wife, and you know about Mike and Sarah Noonan, how they didn't actually have the call with Ryan and Danny like they want the public to believe. You see a really darker side to everything that's happening right now.
the guy was, just like creeping around or whatever. Did that Tom Grant guy, like, did he have any, like, pictures or anything like that?
No, not that he showed me.
Yeah. No pictures?
He had no pictures, no. Not that he showed me. If he had them, he didn't show them to me.
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
It seems like he would have wanted, he would have wanted to jump, he would have wanted to, or something like that.
Well, he may have taken them, but I don't, but I never saw them. He didn't show them to me. He, he took some photos of the crime, of the greenhouse, after everything was over. And but that's all I ever saw.
Does he have photos of before? Maybe. Do we know that he has a lot of evidence, Tom Grant, that he's not releasing right now? Oh, hell yeah. Even recorded conversations, and Mark Lanigan's name would definitely be brought up. Do you remember in that documentary Kurt and Courtney, where Tom Grant came out with all the cassette tapes of the recorded conversations he had from that case? It was like a big fucking box full. You're damn right that Mark Lanigan's name was involved in there. He knows exactly what is going on. He is involved. He must be. If he's not involved in the murder, he's involved in the cover up now. Maybe he was compromised later on. Mm-hmm.
Why, did you see him taking photographs that night?
Yeah, well, if it was,
Right, they say. Right, they say he was having COVID, but not that he died of it. But he had COVID right before his death. That could be a cover up. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
I should take a look at this guy's picture. Oh man.
Yeah, especially in now he has gray hair. If you look at pictures of him and you can find video of him. You can look it up on your phone, just on YouTube. And he has given interviews in the 90s and stuff like that when he's younger looking. That'd probably be the thing to do.
It's Tom Grant.
Yeah, Tom Grant, PI.
Yeah, I've been so I want to check out some stuff where I just been so fucking damn busy or whatever with, I mean, just like the
skip forward a bit.
But yeah, I should check out all that.
Yeah, her name is the only name circled in Epstein's Black Book. And she is one sociopath that will do anything. If I was Epstein, I'd probably be like, yep, this bitch will do anything for me. Circle, circle, circle.
I can send you some links, but all right. Well, let's
Yeah.
let's
That's helpful or whatever. I mean,
okay.
I just haven't had time really fucking it's like since I lost my place up there, you know.
Right.
You're skipping forward a bit more.
Recording? No.
No.
Oh,
Recording of what?
I've of Kurt. I wonder what is just. I wonder, like Courtney just. What she takes care of those guys or whatever, gives them money or some shit.
She might.
Yeah, Joe doesn't even fucking know. Courtney paid for Mark Lanigan's rehab. She got him clean and sober. So he's admitting that Mark was there and did this, but he doesn't even know that Mark was paid off.
I think she did for a while, but she's blown through most of her money now, so she's.
Stop this right there. Well, yeah, Dylan showed up with that.
Mark Lanigan, Roddy Bottom, Danny Clint Rich, who's committed suicide.
This, well, the one guy was standing right there with him,
Danny did commit suicide. Kurt did not.
you know?
Yeah.
That's the ironic thing here.
And then there was another guy that was not like standing right there. Yeah. And then basically fucking yeah, they got well, they were fucking trying to get rid of me basically.
Okay.
They were Callie, Mark, and Dylan.
And they
Maybe Danny and Roddy were more involved in trying to get Joe away.
is and I was and Kelly oh yeah, Kurt had already given Kelly the tape in the kitchen. And fucking these guys were trying to like force me to go one way and they were trying to get him.
He's talking about it being that same time right here, because this is not edited. This is just a straight forward recorded phone call. So that means he had that Marie Calendar dinner again, like we were saying. Not just on the 2nd when he came back home, but also late on the 2nd, going into the, or maybe early morning on the 3rd, like around 12 or whatever.
The other way.
Try to get Kurt to go the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt, what I experienced from him in 2013 listening to the music was an euphoricness that connected me consciously with like everybody else around me, even people I didn't agree with. But it also had me turned against the people that were just products of society. And seeing more about how they're victimized as well, though. But authority wants to kick the loving feelings out of you, the euphoric nirvana feelings. That's what tyrants do.
Yeah.
out of the kitchen and out of the house.
Well,
And Courtney's in line with all the tyrants of the world. Congratulations, celebrity Zionists. Everything's like you wanted it. You got a lot of celebration by people that you influenced just because you're famous. They could have went a different way and talked about something else, but instead they chose to talk about politics and influence everybody in that direction. They could have been a better famous face doing something better. Alright. Like, Jeffrey Epstein did not save us. Anyway.
a bunch of bullshit with Dylan. Well,
Oh, wow. About Lane's mom.
basically,
Mark even said I had involvement in both of those deaths. And since the public didn't know he meant it with Kurt, he probably did mean it with Lane too. And if his mom's saying that Lane was murdered, I believe it. Fuck.
well, against, against, Will, basically, I guess you could say, they were just all like, fast talking like it was on they got a phone call from turnover and,
Did he just say they got a phone call? Just a sec.
they got a phone call
They got a phone call.
from turnover and, fucking to get, me and, I believe like Bonnie and Jen, you know, like out of there.
Okay.
So probably a request from Courtney to get them out of there. Courtney was calling the house like crazy. Even Joe said that in the book. Someone was calling it crazy. That was Courtney. Just like she was calling the rehab like crazy before he left. Now she's calling the house like crazy, knowing that he's there. Because Callie had told her. April 2nd, Saturday. Either in the AM, afternoon, or evening. He was telling Courtney that. Or nighttime.
And I can't, it's just crazy, well, because we were just all of a sudden in the kitchen one minute, you know, and pull out this tape and
Okay, yeah, so this was April 3rd. He was showing Callie and Joe the tape and giving it to Callie. This is before he went right down to the basement, when he went down again, just like Joe said. So when he went down to the basement again. They were in the basement before too, I guess. Not when he went down from the greenhouse, when he went down from the kitchen into the basement. We know that because of the book. Yeah.
gave it to Kelly. And we were just talking about, you know, him, getting a new record contract, you know, and the negotiations for the record contract and stuff. We were just talking about normal shit, and then shit changed real quick.
Okay. And it changed what, when Dylan arrived with these guys?
Yeah.
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 And but how did they get him out of the kitchen? Did they grab him?
Well, that's the thing.
That's the thing. He wasn't in the kitchen at that time. He was in the basement with the new testimony from this book. We know that.
You know, not to get out of the kitchen, but then to,
Yeah, not out of the kitchen. Not to get out of the kitchen. Same
Yeah.
thing.
to get me to go one way
They tried to get, now he's going into how Callie and whoever else tried to get him to go the other way. Probably most likely not Mark or Dylan, because they were carrying Kurt out.
And then the other way, yeah, there was a little grab in there and passed off it basically.
Okay.
Come on, do good heroin with us, which was what Danny was saying. Come on, do good heroin. He was saying that Mark and him and Dylan were there, trying to convince him of really good fucking heroin. Like the best fucking heroin. You could, like, the way he said it, it was like it was heaven. The way he was explaining it to me over the phone. But Kurt didn't buy it. And I wondered how Danny knew about this basement attack before Joe's book even came out. Fuck.
And did he go? Did he go willingly, or?
He did not.
Well, yeah, yeah, states that he really understood the
Didn't really understand the seriousness of what was happening right in that moment. Of course not. It's your own home. You don't have people like be like, hey, no, I'm holding your hostage in your own home. What the fuck? And that's exactly what Kurt was saying. What the fuck? I was told that by a source. That Kurt was saying, what the fuck? As they were attacking him. As Mark was specifically. And Dylan. Right after, no, it wasn't right after. Yes, it was right after he got hit that I was told that Kurt was saying, what the fuck? It dazed him, but he was still able to say some stuff. Right. And the gunshot wound to the head pretty much, it's so obvious. So when you have a gunshot wound to the head, that's a fucking whole head injury. Even parts of his forehead were caved in. Because I read it and I went over ChatGPT with it. Parts of his forehead were caved in. Right there, that could be part of that injury where he was hit in the head. But also, it could be a mixture of the shotgun, too. The pellets. Right. So why are... Yeah, his forehead was caved in at parts. So why are who killed Kurt dismissing that? They know that from the autopsy report that they themselves fucking had released. Why are they dismissing that? Here we go.
you know,
Exactly. He was totally attacked. And it was totally staged. Both things were totally staged. I mean, both things totally happened. The attack happened and it was staged.
just because
Yeah, there's a head wound. Holy fuck, there is. A shotgun, and there's parts of his skull and his forehead that were caved in. That could be a mixture of before and after the shotgun. No head wound. Where did the shotgun end up going into? Mouth. Where is his mouth? It's attached to his head. No head wound. Okay. Parts of his forehead were caved in. Put the autopsy into ChatGPT and ask about it and ask if the forehead was caved in parts. It will say yes. That's what it specifically details. You just have to get understand the terminology that the coroner is putting in there. Here we go.
well, yeah,
Yeah, and his hair was like that. He was dragged. Remember him on the stage in 1991? when he was being dragged as well. It's in like the Lithium music video, the compilation of him live. His hair was the same way, flat out as he was being dragged. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't understand it. You know,
He didn't understand what was going down, in other words.
yeah, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
did you?
Well, no, I wouldn't have been fucking, I would have been a lot more funny, you know, if I wasn't on so many, if we weren't fucking so high.
Right. No, I get that. Right.
I kind of feel like there was something bad was wrong.
Joe's high on heroin. I've been that. Have you ever been in that situation where you've been high on weed or something, and then like some criminals want to overstep their boundaries in your home or somebody else's home, and you're like, I just want to fucking enjoy my fucking high. Why does it have to go to a bad trip? Before weed was legal, that would happen a lot. Yeah, but here we go.
All of a sudden, you know,
Right.
you, yeah, we were fucking super high though.
Yeah. And you didn't know it was that bad. Right. It was going to be that bad. Right.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Okay. So so they take Kurt out, but Kurt's high too.
Yeah.
Right. And
They don't take Kurt out from the house in the greenhouse like you're thinking right now with what Matthew just said. But they do take Kurt out, but in the basement, hitting him over the head, Mark Lanigan, with something metal, probably the fire poker again.
And they just take him up to the greenhouse. They just kind of walk him up there, or
And then they do that, and Kurt is unconscious at this time. He's not doing it by himself at all. Two people have to do that.
Yeah, with, Dylan, you know, talking, like, you know, fucking just talking shit or whatever, you know, like, it didn't have to make whole.
Yeah, bullshit. And then he got that money. Oh, here you go. Oh, yeah, 50 grand. Oh, here, dude. And I know you're a junkie, but you're gonna pay your bills with it. Right on. Even if Mark got that money, he's not gonna spend it in paying the government back. He's gonna be like, fuck you. I don't know how long I have to live. I'm gonna spend this like on drugs. This is like half of 100,000. I can live for like a long fucking time on this. I've ripped people off for $20. Come on.
Oh, too much, that's all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be good ahead up.
Was it me that showed that video of the cigarettes pointing different ways? Like two. No, but that's staged right there. That was Who Killed Kurt. That's staged right there. They even tried to make people think other things, that Kurt was in the greenhouse and they were smoking together. That's not true. They staged it like that. You can even see cigarette butts outside on the balcony, on the back of the greenhouse. Yeah, exactly. See, they have thousands of followers and they're putting out information like that, and people are believing that Kurt's now died in the greenhouse. It's not, and now they're discrediting Joe Burns, fucking Dan Rich, Matthew, anyone that tries to investigate the case, even Richard Lee that was doing it when they were like 6 years old. They're discrediting him too and saying I'm younger, like to like downplay my involvement, but they were only like 6 years old at the time too. So, what the fuck? Anyway, let's get on with the truth.
And if that fucking place down in LA or whatever.
No, Sam Luffy, no. But he fucking is involved with the Isaiah Silva case and barging in and fucking grabbing him by his groin and taking his wallet out and everything. And he's involved in abusing Britney Spears as well. And ironically, I just had a dream with Britney Spears last night, and I was on the phone with her, and she was like my friend, and we were talking about the Cobain case. I just remembered. And I actually wrote it down because I write down my dreams whenever I wake up, and I remember them. Anyway, here we go.
right.
So his tolerance went down, but he still had like, even though his tolerance wasn't down like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he does a hit and would be totally out
Okay. All right.
That's easy to make some, just like
Who is Michael Rooker, though?
with a little guy that, walks on somewhere.
Right. Okay.
They obviously were going over the same thing, but they brought Kurt up, Mark and Dylan, to the greenhouse, probably with his hands over their shoulders, probably playing it off in case anyone's seen from the houses behind them, like it was someone like that was drunk and wasted, probably.
But easy. Yeah.
All right. And then what happens next? You guys.
They really did fuck up trying to cover it up. They put the bullet on the opposite side of where it came out of, where it would have landed. Like, come on. But still, it was covered up because they're like, oh, suicide letter right by. People started committing suicide. Oh, let's keep them committing suicide all the way up to like 20 fucking 65 or something. The year. Let's not stop it right now.
Let's just stay in the kitchen, or.
No.
2:30 a.m. Mark smoking a cigarette. That song Sunday night, 2:30 a.m. He's smoking it like crazy, chain smoking it like crazy, like really puffing on it. And then 2:32, he takes the shot, and then he says his trigger finger is all blistered and blue.
We weren't in the kitchen. I mean, that's what we were, like, showing up, like, where the hell did they
That's where they were, but they were in the basement when the attack happened.
park even,
Yeah.
It wasn't, the vehicle wasn't just right there. They
Or in the
must have walked,
driveway.
like, I don't know.
Nope.
It was a
In the
pretty long
basement.
driveway, fairly long drive, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they could have been dropped off. I mean, who knows? Yeah.
That's a possibility too. Thinking about it, like, I guess they didn't want a vehicle there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Okay. So you guys are there, and then Kurt was up. Now, what happens when Kurt's up in the greenhouse? What are you guys doing?
Just look up Joe Burns uncut audio. Yeah.
I'm asking Kelly. Oh, wow, shit, okay. Well,
Did you guys hear the phone call of me with Renee Neverett tonight? It was him, but he decided to say it wasn't him after I confronted him boldly with what I wanted to ask him about. Yeah, Joseph Burns on Facebook. Josef Burns. You can add him, you can talk to him. I'd recommend you do that, then go through like hearing whatever anybody else has to say on YouTube about him. But he doesn't really want to talk about the case anymore, unfortunately, but he might say some things. He might still say something to someone. Good, yeah. I would just message him. If you can help him out, maybe he'll say something, like he doesn't want to talk about it. It's not about even getting money, but he literally doesn't want to talk about it. So you'd have to like build up your friendship. He doesn't want to talk about it. He just says it's all in the book. And I respect that. And so we gotta go off the book. For now. At least. And all this.
always pretty much. How it seemed like he was, like, trying to get me to.
I talk about like political stuff and conspiracies with him. And music as well.
Get the hell out of there, basically.
Yeah.
Like he's saying, okay. I think there was more than one private eye there.
Yeah. Okay.
So that means the timelines are altered, because that would have been Ernie Barth, Tom Grant, and Detective Terry.
like at least two. Um, and yeah, and so it seemed like he had like some kind of oh shit, just like I should look this other bit down. I didn't realize it was on Zoom, so next to me. Shit. Hold on for 1 second, okay?
Yeah, take that.
So in the book it says, at approximately 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, I hear a blast. Correction though, what it should actually say is, at that moment at approximately 2:30 a.m. on Sunday. But it was 2:32. Unless it was 2:30 a.m. when he shot him, and then he looked at his watch and it was 2:32. No, obviously he wouldn't look at it when it's blistered and blue. He would look at it right after he shot him. So he's smoking the cigarette. It's 2:30 a.m. 2:32 a.m. He shot him, Kurt, and his finger is all blistered and blue, his trigger finger. And even though it would have been 3:32, he would have looked at his watch and mentally, just like Will pointed out to me, he would have remembered what he's seen right at that point, right at that time, when he shot Kurt in the mouth through the hard palate. Which would have been, he didn't turn back his own watch. That means Mark Lanigan didn't turn back his own watch. But he remembered it like that, so he kept it like that. Because that's what he's seen when he was doing that. Alright, back to Joe.
Yeah, okay. Let's see here. Oh, oh, I didn't have this put in my hand.
And I can't believe there's this clip of Kurt Cobain unreleased footage, and I'm like, a Masonic calendar? Turns out I was like totally bugging out on the counter, I think is what they actually said, so I deleted that video.
You know, I realize this young, like, these are something just,
Right. Tom is in the documents from I think it was March, yeah. And I confronted Tom. I'm like, how did that get in there? And he's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe the power went out and they didn't put it on right away and it went back to a different date. It wouldn't go that back. But this is the thing, my own thought. It wouldn't go that far back. It would probably go a lot far back. You know, when things go off and it goes like 0000. It'd probably go back to the year 1940, whatever. Not a month fucking prior. Right? Alright, here we go. Continue.
sit there and follow it next.
Okay. Yeah.
I know she didn't. Yeah, we'll talk. Okay.
All right. Well, so then what happens? You guys are in the driveway, or are you in the kitchen still when Kurt goes out with the greenhouse?
We were outside.
Okay. And
I think he thought when Kurt was killed, like with the gun, he was outside with Bonnie. He thinks Bonnie was out, just like he said in the last one where he was on video saying that he thinks Bonnie and him were outside. But in the book, he's saying he thinks Bonnie was inside and he came inside. He didn't really know where she was. It's like trauma was happening right at that time because Again, shock murder. Think about shock murder. Someone just killing someone right in front of you and you being like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? And it's drug dealers that will totally kick your ass and kill you too if you fucking interfere or act like you did.
All right. And how long is he up there in the greenhouse for?
And I say that because he was attacked in the basement, Joe seen some of that. But Mark and Dylan weren't looking at Joe when he was getting attacked, when they were attacking Kurt. They were focused on attacking Kurt. They weren't focused on looking at Joe or Bonnie. So that's why Joe still played innocent when Mark and Dylan came back in the house after.
Well, he was up there before. Um, the greenhouse. Are you talking about that place that's right above the garage, right?
Yeah, the room above the garage, right?
Yeah, the room above the garage. Yeah, that's where he was hiding out there.
Oh, he was?
Saturday.
Yeah,
Why was he hiding out there?
because he was trying to avoid with a bunch of.
He was hiding out there on Saturday during the day. Maybe evening time as well. Yeah, that was by Bonnie. She called in with like a friend and she was giving tips that night when it came on Unsolved Mysteries in 1997.
He wasn't sent to find him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't. So before you got there, he was hiding out in the up there in the greenhouse?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was just coming down, for
And that's where we get the Roddy Bottom tip from. And I imagine WKK is going to be like, no, Roddy Bottom wasn't there. But we get that from Bonnie in 1997 after the Unsolved Mysteries episode aired. She was with a friend while it did it.
and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't hiding out in the house.
Oh, how long had he been hiding out in the...
Yeah, I seen that in the Tom Grant PDF, and he's on the ski mobile too. And there's a photo of him on that.
The greenhouse?
Enjoying life.
Since he got back from escaping or whatever from
Okay, since he got back from LA? And so he was up there for like a day.
They discredit Joe on everything. The Danny stuff, the Mark Lanigan stuff, the everything that Joe says stuff. Anything and everything that will actually fucking bring justice to Kurt. Anything that will bring money to their wallets. Oh yeah, we accept it. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Something like that?
what?
How long between him getting back from LA and Dylan showing up with these guys? How much time had passed, do you think? Who would you say?
WKK literally has Danny and Ryan lying to them, criminals lying to them, and they're like, okay, we believe you. We're going to tell that to our audience of thousands of people, and they're going to believe it too. Thank you, you heroin addict that's currently still a heroin addict but lying to people for telling us the truth. What it is.
A couple days.
And I can back up what I'm saying.
Just a couple days, right. And so he was up there for a couple of days?
Yeah.
And why was he worried about,
Yeah, it was, that stole the pics from Gary. It was Oriole. And Michelle was there, I'm pretty sure. And they took photos of stuff, too, that they were not supposed to take photos of. They scammed him, and they got what they wanted. They scammed him by not giving him all the money, or money at all. They probably gave him some money for some stuff, but not for what they took photos of that they were not allowed to take photos of when he was making a coffee, just like American Spy Fox said, right? Yeah, Gary has all the photos and everything because Leland Cobain collected them. So there's autopsy photos and everything that Gary has, but no one has. That's why they're trying to get him. That's why they're trying to be like, hey, money, 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 money. Let us come over. Let us see more stuff. We're women and we like you and we love Kurt and we love you. But he's not giving them anything. We shouldn't even know what's in that autopsy, but they took photos of it, so we know. But they were not allowed to do that. And they should have got his permission. And then, like, they should have done it, and they could have probably got everything, but they fucked it up by being people that just wanted to make money off of him and take things and be really cold-hearted and mean, awful like that. Fuck. Okay, here we go.
Tell you why he was worried about what he was worried about?
Well, shit. As I said before, me and Bonnie were going to pick him up all the time,
Right.
just to get away. Remember, like, you would fucking open the door, you know?
Yeah.
And you could just,
Oh, we all know that. Let's skip that.
Yeah.
not in the kitchen to pick him up. Just, we were just in the kitchen, talking or whatever, and he was grabbing some stuff, you know, like,
Okay.
they, would leave the big bowl. She would fill it up with fresh fruit and shit like that.
Yeah.
And talk to her for.
Yeah, I can't tell you who told me that, but Gary does have all the autopsy pictures. He has the photos of Kurt's face and everything. He has a whole box of photos that Leland Cobain collected because he was doing his own investigation that was passed down to Gary. I might get Leland and Gary confused, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, Gary, no, yeah, Gary, I'm right. It was Leland died and it was passed down to Gary. And I was told that by someone. Anyway, here we go.
And shit like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are leaving the house and these guys show up?
Or yeah, they were already there.
Oh, they're already there. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't leaving the house. He was leaving the house Monday night. They were already there on Sunday morning, early a.m., 2 a.m., around there.
And they bring him back up to the greenhouse. Okay.
Yeah, basically, because Bill was.
Yeah, Leland was, and now Gary's like not putting out anything. If I was Gary, if you were Gary, if anyone was Gary, we'd be putting it out and letting everyone go examine it and dig for the truth for my own family, you know. And he is my family, he's a distant cousin, so dig at it. Don't just like hide it away in a box.
Fucking, like.
Oh, and I'm not gonna be a person that says, yeah, I'm distant cousins of Kurt Cobain, and I am, but I'm not gonna be like, now give me money on my Cash App. I'm not gonna ask for money at all. 2 months later, so guys, here's my Cash App. Oh, and I got T-shirts. American Spy Fox. No, I'm not gonna be like that either. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I
Continue.
know. Fucking, we do an ad going on with those. Yeah.
Okay. And how much time transpires before he's shot? Before there's a gunshot? Or before you know he's dead?
Not all that long.
Okay.
Not all that long. And right here, he says around approximately 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, but really that would be 2:30 a.m. on Sunday. It happens, so It all happened around 2 a.m.
A good place. Just you.
What's that?
I said,
He literally is. Oh, I'm gonna make a documentary, and it's like a shitty little video, and I need thousands of dollars to do it. I've done better videos, and I can do a better, even better video, without making any money. And I did a better job with the fucking AI videos of Kurt and everything than. Anyway, I'm not gonna brag, but I did it for free. I did not make any money doing it. I did not have to tell you guys to give me money to make videos that I can make with any app that I can download for free. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go.
okay, who's all? Are you just by yourself?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have a wife and kids, but I mean, I just go in, right now, I just,
Something?
yeah, yeah. I don't want my kids hearing this conversation or anything.
Oh, and by the way, American Spy Fox is like, okay, now we know what happened to Kurt, but Mark Lanigan's a good guy. Look at my crazy notebook saying that he's good. And like, oh my gosh, thousands of dollars. Oh, let's raise some more money. Now I'm going to Aberdeen, guys. We're gonna find out what happened to Kurt. We're gonna start this out by going to Aberdeen. You know he was raised there, right? Well, he was born on this day at this hospital. Ugh. We already know that. There's so many fucking videos that can say that to us. Holy fuck. Anyway.
If they're running their own,
Yeah, it
I'd
is.
probably go, but,
Never think you.
And I know there's so much against WKK, but that phone call with him and Gary Cobain, it sounded like a fucking fake. It sounded fake. I don't believe Who Killed Kurt with anything. I don't like them. But that phone call sounded fucking fake. I know he's talked to him for real before, but that fucking phone call that he put on the video sounded fake. And he told people, this is Gary's address. Why don't you fucking message him and like send him stuff and everything? Why the fuck would you do that? It sounded like he was being a prick towards Gary. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. At least they're making money and they're happy and they're against people that make money off of Kurt Cobain's name. Isn't that ironic? They hate people that are making money off of Kurt Cobain, yet they're doing that. Why is popular opinion the YouTubers that are fucking making like money off of T-shirts and shit? What the fuck? You did good videos. Now you can just fucking do whatever you want and rip people off and sell stuff. Congratulations. I hope that doesn't happen to me. It won't. I almost died for this. So I'm fucking. It's personal. It's personal. It's fucking personal to me. And it fucking is. And I hope Renee is watching and knows that. Yes. I spoke with Renee tonight. The innocent dude. I spoke with Aaron Carter in my same apartment right here where I'm sitting. Right before he died, like 2 years before he died. And he was selling, uh, he was starting his own weed fucking business. And he was like, I asked him about it. And he's like, I'm going to start, there's going to be like, I want Candy Kush and everything. But he blocked me after he showed his shotgun, and I'm like, are you allowed to have that? And he's like, no, fuck you, faggot, call the cops on me. And then he blocked me. But I think, the 90s and early 2000s could have went a totally different way. And it would have been people with balls and guts that are okay with being crazy in the limelight that have mainstream attention that could actually have changed things in a great way rather than the fucking Epstein crowd that we have on TV all the time like these days being like Big Pharma, World Economic Forum, Hollywood, yeah. It's like stupid. Idiocracy. Stanton LaVey, Anton LaVey's grandson. I was friends with him since I was 16 years old, and I was speaking with him over the telephone when I lived at a shelter. And fuck, what was I getting into? It was something about that. Fuck. I totally fucking forget. I can see him laughing right now. He died, transitioned 3 years ago now. Anyway. Here.
I have 5.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I'm a little too, so I don't have a lot of time, which is one of the reasons why I talk to you. It's one of the reasons why I talk to you late at night, because
If I remember why I was saying Stanton's name, I'll say.
everyone's in bed.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kids are awesome. I got one. I was renting them by myself until fucking this fucking baby mom and grandma or whatever the baby's mom.
Yeah,
He's a pharmaceutical rep.
yeah,
And she took me to court, because she's a fucking piece of shit. Well, and she fucked up with her kid so bad she wants a second chance.
yeah.
It took me to court and stuff a bunch. Yeah.
Ouch.
He sucks. Yeah, my kid. Fucking. Let's go.
He sucks. There's a turd in my whiskey. Oh man. Anyway, it's almost 2:32 a.m. So they'd be carrying Kurt's body probably up right now at this time right before. Yeah, thank you. I'm still gonna continue with it. I'm just gonna think. Here, I'm gonna continue this.
How old's your kid now?
11.
Oh, wow.
Roddy Bottom. Let's see what else we can find. We know what happened. It was Sunday, April 3rd, around 2 a.m. He was attacked. Okay, here's my brief phone conversation that I had with Renee Navarrete last night. Here it is, just a sec. Oh, so this is the thing. Let me read this to you
Hey,
before.
Renee.
I called Renee Navarrete. He answered and first said it was him. Then there was dead silence. He denied it again. I did not type that out right. When I asked him about it again. And when I asked again and mentioned about Kurt Cobain in 1994 and him being there in the house in the basement with Joe, he went quiet again. And at the end, when I asked him again if he is Renee Navarrete, he just said, "Thank you," and hung up. I got the phone number from In Bloomer. Here we go. This is me with Renee Navarrete last night. Didn't go anywhere, but here it is.
Hey, Renee? Hey, Renee?
Yeah,
Hey, this is the Life of a Borderline. I was wondering if you wanted to speak about when Joe Burns and you and the other people were at Kurt Cobain's house in '94.
no, I think you might have the wrong number.
Oh, okay.
Who's this?
The Life of a Borderline from YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I think you have the wrong number.
Okay, you really aren't Renee?
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Right? Thank you. Hangs up. Alright. Bye. I didn't even wait for him to hang up. I just hung up myself. I should have waited for him to hang up. I have his phone number still. I would call right now, but I can't do that while I'm on this. live stream on my phone. What time is it? 2:28. 29:30 through 1:30. 4 minutes. 2:32. Which would be this right here. Just a second.
Sunday night, 2:32. My trigger finger all blistered and blue.
It's all right there. Yeah, Callie had already tried with Courtney. Remember, Kurt originally wrote the note when he woke up in the hospital saying, "Fuck you, Courtney." And then they changed it to saying something else. Like, get these out of me or whatever. I think I read that in a Heavier Than Heaven or Matthew's book or some other book. Holy fuck. Oh, sorry. I'm just looking, at what I can play. Let's go over Candace Owens again with Courtney. Standing up for CIA, Courtney Love. I'm pretty sure that CIA Candace against authority or agency or whatever, her making fun of the CIA, is actually her showing off the CIA logo and like fucking in your face about it, but in a covert kind of way. If I was her, I wouldn't have anything to do with anything that's like labeled CIA. I'd create my own fucking whatever. Okay, where is she talking about Courtney Love? Oh, here we go.
In January of this year.
MK Ultra made me kill my husband that wanted to divorce me and take my daughter away and all the money away so that we couldn't buy more heroin. It was MK Ultra. Yes, I did experience that. But in 1994, it was MK Ultra specifically that made me jealous of my husband that wanted to divorce me and take my daughter away from me. Bullshit.
Notified me that Courtney Love wanted to reach out to me. We all know who Courtney Love is. If for nothing else, it's because the media has convinced most people that she had something to do with the murder of her husband.
Yeah, I can't even play it. It's so ridiculous. 2:32 a.m. That's what time it is right now here in Canada and USA. Rest in peace to Kurt Cobain. You had a lot more to share. And a lot more better things to share in this world than almost every other famous person alive today. Yeah, I'd say that. 132, yeah. Yeah. Oh, nice. Sleep now, though. I'll sign off right now. But thank you all for joining. And I'll do a live stream probably again soon. Maybe in the next day or maybe tonight. You're welcome, Bob. I'll see you all later. See ya, Ho Dog. See ya, Elbor. Have a good time in France, sorry. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I'm in Toronto, Canada. Thank you. Alright. Peace out. Good night. Thank you for joining and caring. And I'll see you again later. Bye.